We definitely need something special from our special teams this year.
There goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going running all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
Hello and welcome to this episode of War Eagle Weekly. How we doing, Josh?
Doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
I am doing good. Cannot complain. We are in a new era of Auburn sports, joining Nike, but that's not what we are here to talk about today. Today, we are here to talk about the special teams heading into our new season, as well as discuss some of the shortcomings that we had on special teams last year. Got some shocking stats that we're going to talk about, but jumping right in, Josh, after the spring, where does Auburn's special teams stand? Well, we brought in quite a few players to help with the special teams problem last year. There's rumors about Eric Singleton possibly being back there to help with returns. They brought in, can never remember his name, but his last name is spelled with a K, Hudson Cock. That's right. And we brought him along out of, I believe, Oklahoma State. And some of the stuff he has been doing on social media has just been absolutely fun. And just, I feel like he's going to be an Auburn fan favorite right out the gate, you know?
He's got a lot of energy. I really like watching his videos. That's for sure.
Yep, most definitely. And then we have the freshman from Thompson that joined us. He's also the punter, John McGuire, who, I mean, he pretty much at Thompson did a lot of winning. So we should have a good year out of Hudson Cock. He's going to be a junior this year. So depending on how he does, we might have 2 years of it. Returning to us this year, though, it looks like we are going to have they have him listed as a punter and kicker, Towns McGoo, though. So not just a kicker, which I'm okay with. And then, of course, everyone's favorite, Mr. Pinpoint, Mr. Hit It Every Time, Alex McPherson, who let's just hope that he gets back to the ways he was in 2023, because, boy, was 2024 a mess.
I mean, not to take away from Towns, because I do believe he was a 5-star kicker for a reason in the kicker rankings. So I do believe he's very talented. He just got thrown into such a crappy situation last year. So I'm hoping last year doesn't weigh on Towns as much as I think it is, but I'm definitely glad to have Alex McPherson back. I did see on Auburn's side it has him listed at 160 pounds. I fear he might be a little lighter than 160, but from all reports, he's back to 100% and ready to contribute this year on special teams.
Now, we saw him in one of Hudson Cock's social media videos, and I say it's Hudson Cock, it's actually Auburn's social media videos, but Hudson he feels like the star of the show, even when he has Alex McPherson out there, and even when he has Arnold out there, the presumed starting quarterback for us. So it's not really his show, but it just feels like his. He's just a personality. But Alex McPherson, he was hitting those that we saw in that. And no, they're not pressure situations. And no, they don't mean anything. So we'll see how things go. But every account says that he is doing better. He's getting more and more healthy. Hopefully he puts on a little bit more weight before the season. But really at kicker, you don't need a lot of weight. You just need a lot of strength in your leg. And he's not listed on Auburn's website, but I believe they brought in another kicker, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to look it up. But even still, Alex McPherson, he should be able to really turn around the point side of things on Auburn special teams this year. Wouldn't you agree?
I would definitely agree.
So now Auburn has historically had a lot of production in special teams. Auburn fan base has gotten really spoiled with good kickers since, the last kicker that I can remember going as far back is Wes Byram. who has had many memorable kicks in his Auburn career. But so prior to him, maybe there were some bad kickers, but we haven't had a bad kicker since then. I mean, since before him, right? Can you think of any bad kickers?
We've definitely had, a string of 5-star kickers in the is it Cole's kicker rankings? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I believe
Pretty
so.
sure it is. So we've definitely been blessed in that area. Before, I can't remember his name. Before Wes Byram, I can't remember the kicker's name before Wes Byram, but he was also a pretty decent kicker as well. But it does seem like Auburn has had a long list of kickers that just aren't bad. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the worst one was probably, I don't know. I feel like Anders Carlton. Fans had a love-hate relationship with Anders.
He was still a really good kicker, but yes, I would say Anders was definitely the worst out of the last few.
Yeah, he had a bad rap because his brother was Daniel, who is probably the best kicker to come out of Auburn ever.
I would definitely agree.
So, but not only did we see issues in the kicking game, we also saw return game issues last year with Auburn, either be holding penalties or
John Vaughn. Sorry.
John Vaughn. Oh, okay. Yeah.
John Vaughn. Sorry, it was killing me.
But again, a good kicker in Auburn's history.
Yes.
So, but jumping back in, we had a lot of issues with the return game as well. Not having a dynamic returner, which we'll get to in the next topic, but also issues with holding, and just special teams just did not look crisp at all.
No, it really didn't. And what's his name? He's Keontae Scott. He started the season out as kick returner, and he did really good in 2023. And then they put Coy Moore in the infamous fumble on the punt, and don't know. And everyone, I don't know why they decided it. Anyways, Keontae Scott started 2024 as the punt returner, ended up having easily one of the worst returning seasons in Auburn history. He just couldn't hold on to anything when it came to returning the ball. And then they just kept plugging and playing people in the return game, and it never really caught on. So it's definitely got to be a subject of concern and attention during practices before the season starts. So hopefully they're able to get someone back there that knows what they're doing. I'd like to see Malcolm Simmons personally.
Yeah, I think Malcolm Simmons is electric enough. I think it makes sense to have him back there. I would be a big fan of seeing a lot more of Jeremiah Cobb, because I liked what I saw from him last year and what he did returning the ball, primarily on kick returns. I believe he didn't really return too many punts, but I believe Malcolm Simmons did. So I'd be all for it. There's rumors of Eric Singleton also being back there. They held him out of the 8-day game, practice, scrimmage, whatever you want to call it, due to an injury. But prior to that, he was back there returning kicks. So all in all, though, do you foresee all this production, all of the historical production we have had on special teams, do you see that returning this year? Because like you pointed out, 2 years ago, Keontae Scott had a couple of, touchdowns, had one touchdown specifically in Arkansas that comes to mind. I feel like there was another one, but had electric returns that really put the offense in a good position. We have historically had good returners, minus 2009, 2010. I swear I always was fearful of the punt returner dropping the ball. Who was that punt returner that we just always knew he was going to drop the ball? I feel like it's
Mario Fannin.
No, that was your running back. That
Brandon Carr.
I can't remember now. But not just from the return standpoint, but from kicking. Josh, I looked it up. I was waiting for you to join us today, and so I had some free time, and I just was curious. Just missed kicks. Okay, that's what I'm going off of. Missed kicks. Not the coaches decided not to kick the ball because our kickers are terrible. Not It's, we're coming from behind, so we really need to go for it on 4th down instead of kicking a field goal. I'm not counting those. I'm counting we lined up to kick a field goal and we missed. We left 30 points on the board last year. 30 points. We left an entire game's worth of points on the field last year. In 2023, do you know how many points we left on the field because of missed kicks?
Couldn't tell you. I think you're going to tell me, though.
It would be 0. Alex McPherson nailed every kick he made last year, okay, or 2 years ago. The year before that, Anders Carlton was perfect until he started to get hurt, okay? He missed, in total that year, we missed 18 points. We left 18 points. That was Anders Carlton out there, as well as Alex McPherson missed 1 field goal in one of the final 2 games that he played in Brian Harson's last year. And now Alex McPherson took over after Caddy was the interim coach. But 18 points that year, and that was a bad year for Anders Carlson. But 0 last year or 2 years ago. And then we go to leaving 30 points on the board. That's going to spell disaster. That's going to spell issues. And I don't blame Towns McGrew. You already pointed out the dude was a freshman thrust into a situation that no one could have saw coming. Nobody knew that Alex McPherson was going to get sick and was going to be sidelined the entire year due to an intestinal issue that seemed to be going around at Auburn, because Suni Lee also had an intestinal issue. So what the hell happened there? But at the same time, we have got to get back to being able to trust our kicker. Do you think overall return game, punting, kicking field goals, kicking extra points, is this going to be something that we can rely on this year?
I'm going to go ahead and say at the beginning of the year, I'm going to doubt it as much as I doubt anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I will choose at the very beginning to put my faith behind Alex McPherson because he's tried, true, and tested and being a reliable kicker. In terms of the return game, it's one of those situations I'm going to have to wait and see. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I'm gonna be dreading punt returns. I'm gonna be dreading kick returns, and I'm gonna have some bad taste in my mouth when it comes to kicking extra points and field goals, especially field goals. But like I said, I'm gonna put my faith behind Alex and think that he's gonna do the best. But overall, at the very beginning of the season, I would say no. I'm not confident in our special teams.
And that's a very good point, because I don't think if Alex McPherson goes out there in the first couple games and looks like the Alex McPherson of old that we've seen, it won't take long for the Auburn fan base to say, all right, we're good. Exactly. We're back. We have no issues here kicking the ball. But we got to see that. We got to see if he is going to be able to have his strength in his leg, or we need to see if he's going to have the ability to really do what needs to be done. I have faith in him. I am optimistic that he will, but I am in a wait and see kind of pattern as well. And then that leads right into the next one. Is there a dynamic returner on this roster? You said that you're going to be nervous on punt return specifically, but do you think we have somebody that can be dynamic returning the ball?
I think Malcolm Simmons could be that dynamic return guy. We've seen flashes from him every time he's on the field, no matter what position he's playing on the field. He's got the it factor in my eyes. When it comes to returning the ball, I think he could be that dynamic guy. He's got the shiftiness, he's got the field vision, he's got the hands, and he's just got the skill to take it to the house or get us a good return every time he's on the field to return. Other than that, though, I would say Jeremiah Cobb would be our next best bet. Maybe a Bryce Kane gets in there to touch the ball a few times, just so he's able to get on the field and get some experience. But I don't want to see Eric Singleton returning kicks or punts.
Okay, which is fair. I mean, he's going to be arguably your number 2 wide receiver, maybe your number 1, depending on who you are and how you view his skill set coming into this roster. Majority of people think Cam Coleman's your number 1, and I'm among those people. But I agree. I don't really want to see Eric Singleton back there, not because I don't think he can get the job done and do what he needs to do, but I think he's too valuable on the offensive side.
I don't want to see him get hurt.
honestly, you could probably say the same thing about Malcolm Simmons with the way we saw him being used last year and hoping he makes that next step. I don't really want to lose him either, but I wouldn't be as hurt losing him as I would in Eric Singleton. I think Jeremiah Cobb is going to be, I mentioned him in our running back breakdown. I think he is going to be a breakout player this year. I think Damari Alston is going to take a back seat to him in some aspects, but you look at the last 4 or 5 years, backup running backs at Auburn have been punt returners, have been kick returners, dating all the way back to Ontario McCaleb. And so I think Jeremiah Cobb could really make his bones this year in the kicking game and in the return game. I mean, and so I think we have dynamic players between him and Malcolm Simmons. I have faith that we can do it. We just need to get better production from the blockers. We don't need to be holding. That's the other issue. So overall, do you think we're going? What can we expect from special teams in your experience as an Auburn fan, and include punting in this, because this is the first time that we haven't had Oscar Chapman, which kind of took a step back last year, in my opinion. The year before, he just seemed like he put the ball right where he wanted to the year before, but last year he kind of took a step back and punting wasn't as strong as we had hoped it to be. It was just a bad year special teams wise. Can Hudson Cock do what he needs to do in the punting game as well? So all around, overall, are we going to be able to expect success?
I would expect a little better from last year. I wouldn't expect success. I would expect some more success from last year.
Yeah, I think as long as we can get good blocking on returns, they're going to put our offense in a good position. I think Hudson Cock can really help us defensively and pinning the other team back. So I am cautiously optimistic, like we've already talked about, heading into the season, and I think that we can be successful in special teams. Josh, before we jump off, let's remind everybody, if you are looking to get your new Auburn gear, use our affiliate link below. Go to fanatics.com. A lot of Under Armour stuff is on sale right now, and so not only are you getting a good deal, but we'd be getting a good deal from you using our affiliate link. And I believe July 25th is when Auburn fans are going to be able to start buying your new Nike gear, if you have to have the latest, greatest, But other than that, Josh, I cannot wait for this new season. I cannot wait to see Alex McPherson out there, no matter what. Hopefully he's a success. Hopefully he kicks really well. But I think everyone out there, no matter how his performance is on the field, everyone out there is going to give him a really big standing ovation the first time he takes the field again this year, because of all that he has gone through and the fact that he is now getting healthy again. And I think you would say the same thing.
I wouldn't expect him to get a standing ovation in Baylor on the 29th.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. But from the Auburn fans in attendance, he probably
he'll definitely get one. He'll definitely get one when they come back to Jordan-Hare.
At the very least, he's going to get a War Damn Eagle from me. How about you, man?
Yes, he's definitely going to get a War Damn Eagle. That's for sure.
With all that being said, Josh, War Eagle to you, man.
War Eagle, man.
There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going running all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.